G'day. Hope you guys are all having a good one. In today's video, I'm going to be showing off how you can make games for Fire and then how you import it and get it working in Unreal as well. So yeah, should be pretty simple. So from starting off, we're going to start with the default Fire. You can work with whatever you want. I think there's a limitation with some things because we're going to be using looping, so we can get some looping fire. So this could work for potentially like a campfire, or you've got yourself like a flaming torch and those sorts of things. I in the past there's been limitations. I don't think this works really with particles and stuff like that. I could be wrong, so just note that if this method doesn't work, it may just be something that's a limitation with Embergen for now. But from what I know it definitely works fine with fire, and I think smoke, but I'm not certain. But anyway, let's get into it. So we're going to load up the default fire. To preface, you can also find game. There's some game fire as well, but I'm just going to explain how easy it is to set up your own looping effect as well anyway. So let's just return. So playing it off, we've got this. Pretty simple, works fine. What we're going to do, go into simulation. We're going to scroll down to time control, where you're going to find looping. You've got like a repeat simulation, so that's just going to stop at a specific point and then restart it whenever you hit that point, which you can kind of already achieve if you set a specific thing here and just loop it that way. But what we're going to be using in particular though is loop simulation, and for loop simulation we're going to go maybe like 160, and I'm going to go 49 frames because I know that works and I've tested this. So I'm going to go 20 is it 8? Yeah, 49. So what we're going to see here, so once we get the fire going, we can sort of see a bit of fire working there. Potentially, we could actually just drag this along if we prefer how the fire's looking. Like that. Anyway, let's just say, we're happy with this. It's a little bit weird that it jumps out like that, but I'm just going to go along with it considering it works. So unless I can... seems like we're going to do it just because of the way that the looping works. It kind of has its own background stuff. I could almost though change this, but it's fine. We'll continue along with it. So yeah, find something that you're going to want to work with. There's a particular reason that I'm going 49 frames, which I will explain here. So with this, right, we've got all of our frames here. What you want this to be is you want this to be exact, right? You want it to be pretty much exactly filled up. So, oops, we go to 8 there, and then just remove that bottom column, 8 by 8. We can be, we're going to get a perfect square here, and stuff. So just make sure that it's completely full. If you are getting like a yellow there, that just means that you don't have it fully covered. Once again, if you have these being not green, that's the same issue there. Because I'm going to show two methods of making this. One method, you can get away with having missing frames here. The other method is going to provide better results, but at the cost you need it to be an exact. From what I know of, I could be wrong, and maybe there's some math that you can do to get it to work, but that's something important to note. So once you've got it there, in particular frames, you can do more frames, but as long as it fits the square perfect, you're going to get a good result. And from here, we're going to also set this to whatever we're wanting to work with. Not 280, we're going to go 2048, sorry. 2048. You can do this more, so you could do 4K or something like that. Just note that everything's going to be effectively divided by this. So it'd be like, what you're going to be having is 8 by 8. So, all the frames are 106. Wait, hold on. 63 frames. I thought we were doing less than that. Weird. Hold on, give me a minute here. Sorry, I was a bit silly there and was wondering what was going on. I'm like, 63 frames. I thought we set it to 49. Something's not adding up. It's because make sure to set here as well, number of frames to the same as what your simulation is working with, and then you're going to get it. Because I was a bit weird because I'm like, 7 by 7 was what I was working with before. So yeah, just make sure you do that. Otherwise you'll be like me and go, the result's different to what I set it up as. But yeah, also we're going to change the first frame to wherever our first frame is meant to be. So at the moment it is, I believe, 147, but I mean, it doesn't matter wherever it is, to be honest, as long as it's exactly. So as you can see here, we get the nice result that we're after. We have our flipbook. You probably can get away with not using the alpha here, but if you ever need the alpha, we'll have that. For some reason, I ran into issues. I'll show this for in case somebody else runs into the similar issues. Let me, I don't know, video. So what I'll do for now is just while I have everything here, I'm just going to make sure the camera is lined up. So we're just going to make sure that, you know, everything's kind of sticks within this camera here. I could almost zoom in a little bit. Like, do note that the better this is all situated in here, like the closer you can get to it all, the better it's going to look in engine. Let's see. You can almost, I think, if I go a little bit to the side, just make sure that's gone and that's good. All right, that's probably as good as I'm going to get, and that's actually really, really good. So I'm going to quickly render this and I'll show you the issue that we're going to run into. And I don't know what the issue is. I don't know what's causing this, but I thought I will explain this just in case, because it's something that I've run into in the past. So I'm just going to export it. Luckily, Embergen's amazing and super duper quick. So make sure that this is looking like nice boxes here, as otherwise you're going to get some weird stretching and stuff. So there's the render here, which looks great. And this is, you know, the export. This is what it's showing off as. Issue of why you need to be careful is, for some reason, I've found that I just don't get an export. I don't know if there's something that I've done wrong or something, but I don't know. That's something that I've run into in the past. And so if you're not getting anything, change it from Premultiplied alpha. It just may be something to do with like the flipbooking or stuff. But I think I tried sequencing and I had the same issue, so I'm not too sure. I'm not sure. It could be something to do with the current version or something that I'm missing. Chances are potentially. But this works just as well, straight alpha, for what I'm trying to do anyway. So it's no biggie. So once again, just going to click export. You can skip that, but that's just showing off something that I've run into. See, some of the top does get a little bit cropped out, but it's fine. It's not too big of an issue. And as you can see here, we've got the render. You can use Game Texture Viewer, which I believe is free. This is also owned by Django Fix if you want to view it. So I guess, you know, this is great for viewing stuff if you want to see how your flipbook's looking. You can go like 7. And yeah, so great for viewing what we're trying to work with there, if that's any help. From there, we're going to go into a Unreal project. I already got most of these sort of set up here anyway, but let's run I'm just gonna make a new folder. This video, but you can call it like VFX or whatever. I just don't want to run into the same stuff. Awesome. So once you've got everything set up and working, you want to grab you can grab your alpha. If you want to use your alpha, you can use it, but the way that we've set it up so that we've got alpha dragged into here, we've already got alpha inside the main image. This is just if you need the alpha for separate, in particular, like you're trying to do something specific with it, you can also use that. But for the most part, it's fine here. So we've got our flame here. So I'm going to show two ways of going about this. So first way, you can right click. We're going to go sprite actions, extract sprites. Now the issue with this by default is sometimes you're not going to have this issue, but sometimes you will, where it's going to detect all these random things. I wish you could, I wish there was so much better control over this, as for who knows what reason, there's no like clamping or anything, so you can't like, you know, change like the threshold for detection. So you sort of have to deal with, unfortunately, kind of average thing. And the issue with that is, you know, there's going to be like 200 frames or something because it's detecting all this random stuff. So we're going to change it to grid. If you are working super high resolution, changing to grid is going to take a hot minute, so just be warned. And from here, there's another gripe that I have with this method is, you know, we're working 7 by 7. For some reason, it's not, you can't just set this to being 7 working within the overall image size of 2048, which is incredibly annoying. So what you're going to have to do to calculate it is just grab, obviously, calculator 2048 divided by 7, and that's going to give us a number that we can just input. You know, the closer to that number, the better. And as you can see here, we've got our result. Now, the reason why this is fine if you have extra parts that aren't being used is when you extract it, these are all the individual files. So if you have anything extra, you can just, you know, drag them and just delete them, which is helpful. But, you know, luckily we've got this fine, so it's all good. So just select everything. We're going to right click after selecting and create Flipbook. You can just name it whatever you want. So from here, we've got a Flipbook, which is great. And you can change this to being like, I don't know, a lit sprite or something, and you can make your own sprites. The issue that I have with this, or you can also change this, so like a 60 or 30. I'll change it to whatever you want. Now, the issue that I have with this is I don't know where this goes wrong in terms of if this is an Unreal issue. I would assume it is solely Unreal because, I mean, I'm getting no issues here, so I don't think it's like a Embergen thing. Oh, wait, this is... You know, this is it. So I'm not too sure why that's the case. It could be something just wrong with this method of using the whole paper flipbook thing. I did a bit of research into it when I was trying to figure out what the issue is. And some people are saying it's just something to do with the paper thing. So I've had this work for the most part fine in the past, but just note that you may get this as an issue. Now, if you get this as an issue, I got no clue. And, you know, hey, send a comment if you know what it might be, but from my knowledge, I cannot figure out for the life of me what it is. So, yeah. The other method, we can delete all these sprites, so we don't need them, and we're going to make a material. I'm just going to name this, I don't know, default fire material. But yeah. Sorry, I just ended up re-editing it just in case anybody wanted to see. You can just drag it into the scene, and it works. And you do have a couple settings like play speed, you know, sprite color if you wanted to darken it or change it up, you know, give it a bit of a different look. Green works pretty well with it. But yeah, that's how you can sort of play around with it. You do have a bit of control here, but for the most part, it's not going to be great. It's moving, stuff like that, and yeah, I've had those issues. So this is why this is this method I think is better if you set it up properly. But yeah, going back into it, you got the default material that you're going to be adding. First off, I'm going to be changing it from opaque to additive. You could probably use translucent as well, but yeah. And from here, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting it up same as this. Awesome. So first off, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to add some parameters. Sorry, that's not the one that I want to be going and basing off of, actually. I'm not too sure. Unless it is. Give me a moment. No, this is not the one that I want to be actually basing it off of. Sorry, I made 2 different ones, and this is the alternative. Sorry, let me see if I can find, what is it called? Here we go. This is the method. So feel free, you know, if you want, and there's enough, you know, easy enough to see, you can do it. You can just copy straight from here, but I'm going to be running through the nodes and stuff like that and why I'm naming them all like that. So I'll quickly set that up. Sweet. Sorry about that. So yeah, once again, it is still additive and everything like that. I just opened up the wrong example. But yeah. So first and foremost, we're going to add the Flipbook node. And this is going to be the kind of main thing that everything's going to revolve around. So first and foremost, we're going to start with the animation aspect of it. So we're just going to add a time node. And we're going to press M for multiply. And here you can change whatever you want the time to be set as from here. But also just, you know, since it's easy, I'm going to press S. I don't know why it's S for parameter, but, you know. And from here, we're just going to name this, you know, time. So this is, the reason we're adding these parameters is so we can expose them, and it's going to make life so much easier for changing things up in the future. But yeah, so we're just going to drag this in here to the animation phase. And from here, we're going to start working on the rows and columns. So once again, pressing S, and we can go row, Control D for the column, F2, column. And these are going to be 7 because we're working with 7. But if you set yours up to being, 8 by 8 or 9 by 9 and so forth, you can manually do that. It doesn't have to be exact even in how it's done, but it's probably going to give you the best result. So 7. And 7 is what I'm working with, but just do note that it's not. And, because it's the same, you could just drag it in here. But just in case you're not, we'll just do that. And last but not least, we're going to go U for texture coordinate, which should be like, your UVs, for example, is why it's U. So these keybinds will just make it easier. Plug that in. And then next we will be dragging our file. And so we're going to plug the UVs into here. You're going to see this change. And then I don't have it plugged in, but we will see it working once we get that all plugged in. But yeah, so from here, we're going to plug the A alpha. Did I not change it into... I must have not changed it into additive. There we go. Oh yeah, because I don't have any emission or anything. So we're going to be using emission. You can use base color or whatever suits, but for this we're going to be using emission. So the way that I'm going to do it is potentially not the greatest way, but it works. So I'm just going to plug that in, plug this in. So 2 multiplies, and we're going to plug this into emissive color. And from here, we're going to go V. It's going to give us some color, so we'll go emissive color. And so this is a parameter for the color of the emission. We're going to press S. We're going to go emissive strength. Oops. And from here, we're just going to set this 1 for defaults, and you can actually see what's going on. Plug that in. As you can see here, we've now got ourselves some flames, and so you can press that to visualize what we're working with. Pretty good result. So just by don't you'll want let's see, plane. So this is therefore, instead of it being just that, you can apply it to a plane. There we go. And the issue that you're going to find is you can't see it on the other side, which is a super easy fix by going clicking your fire material and just clicking two-sided. You got all these other controls. So if you've done all these things before, there may be some stuff like screen space reflections you might want, or contact shadows and so forth. But boom, that's your default result. And if I apply it, then we'll be able to see it on the other side. There we go, which is a great result. Now, there's a couple issues with it, which I'm going to quickly show off how we can improve it. One of them being, doesn't face the camera, which is going to be really awkward when you're walking around. And as you can see here, we've got the other one working over there. This one's not. So to fix that, what we're going to be doing is, well, we're going to fix it in a second actually, but first off we'll do the create material instance. So I just go in, oops, inst underscore, it's just my naming convention. And here is where we got all these parameters and stuff. So you can change your column, your row, and stuff like that. You can change your time, emissive strength, emissive color. Probably like you would not really change these. And hey, if you are going to be making multiple of these, you may want to even convert your texture sample to a parameter, so you can import multiple different ones and just use it as a basis. But yeah, so from here, we've got the time, so we can go like, I don't know, 5. Charlie doesn't change it. I don't know. I don't know. It might be a bug with the system. I'm not too sure, unfortunately. Let me see. Oh, I'm not too sure. I don't know. If I find the fix to that, I will post it in the comments. But for the most part, I'm not too sure. Yeah, because it's working there. Ah, that's weird. 2, 1. Ah, apply the instance. That would be the smart thing to do. Not the material. That would explain why I'm not getting any change. I'm like, it's worked in the past. So yeah, that's how you can customize the speed of it. A little bit goofy of me to not realize that sooner. So you can also change the color. So once again, if you want to recolor it, you can recolor it in here. I think the only thing that's really going to look all right is the green. But hey, maybe you like the dark blue, or some of these look not too bad for you, but I think just with the default colors that I have set up, that would look better. So maybe you like a bit more reddy, that will give you a better color there. And then you got emissive strength. So this bumping this up is going to give you nice. It sort of combines it all. It removes some of the detail that's visible, of course. But yeah, you can kind of bump this up and it's gonna severely improve the result. And because the way that you can look at it is hold on, if I decrease the speed and get closer to it, you're gonna be able to see all these pixels and stuff. Now it's not too bad because we're doing such a small time frame, but turning on emission, with how it's all gonna immersive and you've got all the bloom and everything coming out of it. It sort of hides a lot of those details. So I do find like adding emission. Of course, it makes sense to add emission. You got fire, but that's always going to improve your result. And from here, what we're going to do is right-click Niagara System. I'm going to go. You can make your own one, but for simplicity, I'm just going to choose from existing single looping particle, and just click select and finish, and we just call this Nia underscore fire. Or you can do whatever naming convention you want to use. From here, what I might quickly do first is change the. Where are we? I think if I go Oh, where's my setting? Sorry, I found the setting. It was hidden in system update. We're just going to change the loop to 1. Just so it's resetting quicker, and that'll make sense later. What we're going to do is sprite renderer. We're going to click this. We're going to go, whatever we named it. I mean, it's inst. This is probably the easiest thing that we're going to be able to search by. Inst default fire material. Click this. And boom, that's going to render that. Now, the thing to note is it's going to be very, very small, because for whatever reason, the Niagara systems always make all your sprites super duper small. But as you can see, when I move, it's not going to move real time. That's because it's got to wait for the that loop to finish. But maybe there's a way to make it update instantly. But yeah, changing that loop to 1 second is going to severely be nicer than waiting 5 seconds for it. And yeah, so because we've got facing mode being face camera, it's going to face a camera. If you want to change the size, we can go into, I think, initialize particle. We can change it to, like, I don't know, 50. Just got to find what looks good, so I'm just going to put that on my other monitor. Of course, we've got the Niagara thing there, but, oops, not 10. I'm going to try 100. For 1,000. Lovely. Awesome. So now we've got our effect there. We press play. So this is the one that we added before, and then this is our effect here. Nice fire. I think it looks pretty good. You got heaps of control there, you know. If you want to improve the default fire that you're working with, you can always do that, or there's some more controls. If you want to spend a lot more time working in the material editor, you know, adding more parameters and stuff like that, you know, we added a couple with like time, strength, emission, you know, color, stuff like that. There's always more stuff that you can do, and you can like start breaking them up with like panners and whatnot, and like merging different textures and stuff like that. But I think by default, this is probably the best way. So yeah, hopefully this has been informative and helpful and has helped you create your awesome fire texture, or, you know, smoke, explosion, whatever is what you're trying to go for. But yeah, once again, that's also why I would much prefer this method over the other method. I do think the end result is also better and higher quality, like, you know, a higher quality due to the way that it works compared to the paper method that I showed first by extracting this sprites and whatnot. Both methods are viable. I've seen some people do this method, and hey, this method can work pretty good for doing some stuff. If you're doing, like, you know, running sprites and stuff like that, this method's probably going to be easier and better. But at the same time, I've found that in my own testing, this is going to give you a much better result than, you know, once again, seeing it up and looking at the other one. Yeah, much better result than, you know, this, where it's all kind of jank. I mean, yeah, it's different speeds and stuff like that. You can always bump up the speed and, you know, but, you know, even outside of the fact of it, you know, being moving and stuff like that, real jaggedy, you're still getting a kind of very iffy result. So this is a much better result. Looks really, really good. You can do, there's a heap that you can do with this. So yeah, hopefully that's been helpful. Hopefully, you know, you've learned something. If you just need quick testing, I'd probably go with this, even though it's like kind of a pain. It's going to give you a much quicker result. But if you're actually wanting a decent, good-looking result that's, you know, pretty close to what you're going to be getting out of Embergen, then that slower method, where you have to create a whole material for it, is going to give you a significantly higher quality looking result. But yeah, hope you guys all have a good one. Thank you guys all for watching, and catch you guys next time. See y'all.